Howard Bentham on BBC Radio Oxford.
It's an amazing story, this, for so many different angles. Steve Jones is an executive director, I should say, at Focal Point. They train supermarket buyers and also used to work for Tesco, training buyers. Steve, thank you so much for coming on the programme this morning. It is a fascinating story. Your reaction to it?
Well, this is the sort of thing that's going on in the background all the time. Tesco aren't alone in taking issue with Unilever over this price increase. I can't help thinking that this has been brought out into the public domain. What is it the French say? Pour encourager les autres. So if everybody else starts running to them with there's been a Brexit impact of currency, everybody starts asking for one. If they've taken on Unilever, some of the smaller manufacturers will probably be a bit more reticent to take them to the wire.
Now, that's interesting in itself, but I can't think of another situation where you actually see supplies of much-loved brands actually sort of choked off here. It just doesn't happen.
About 2 years ago, just before Christmas, Tesco had a row with Coca-Cola, and they didn't take out Coca-Cola, but you couldn't get Schweppes tonic. And as a consumer, I really had the ump about that, because there's only one product that goes in gin as far as I'm concerned, and that's Schweppes tonic. It's about standards.
Very good. But, Tesco in danger here of cutting off its nose to spite its face, because you've got two massive organisations sort of coming head-to-head. I know there are other supermarkets involved, you've touched on that, but who's more powerful here?
Well, I think the issue here is they have to make their mind up. Either they're the consumer champion, in which case they sell products which the consumer wants to buy. And if you look at why people change their destination supermarket, there are two reasons. The first is price and the second is range. Now, I would expect to be able to buy Marmite in the supermarket that I go to. If Tesco are having a row with their suppliers, as far as I'm concerned, that's completely irrelevant. I just want to buy the products I want. I'm not going to. If I have to go to buy Marmite somewhere else, I'll buy everything somewhere else. So I think it's, if they ever do run out of stock, because obviously they'll have quite a reasonable amount of stock in their supply chain, if they do run out of stock, then I think they're probably cutting their nose off to spite their face, as you suggest.
What about Unilever, though? Because I say they are massive, they own all these huge brands. How long can they hold out on something like this?
Well, I mean, what Tesco haven't done, obviously you don't know, all you know is what's in the press, but it doesn't appear that what they've done is to stop buying everything from Unilever. They're just having a war of attrition. And the thing about the supermarkets is when they talk about their supplier relationships, long term's a fortnight. At the moment they'll be rowing with them, and 2 weeks later they'll be rowing with somebody else. This will be resolved. There's too much at stake for both companies to allow this to drag on over a long period of time.
Steve, lovely to talk to you. Thank you for that. And I hope you get your tonic and everything else will be sorted out. Steve Jones, Executive Director at Focal Point.